Are you able to bring in Mother Mary?
Yes.
Beautiful. I've felt Mother Mary so much lately, so it would be amazing to speak with her.
Yes, she said that you're opening your heart and you really have stepped into this place of like unconditional love for other beings. And you've really stepped in this place of unconditional love for yourself and understanding of self. And that it's just really even showing, like Carrie even agrees, like she sees the way that you interact with people. And it really is from just a loving, nurturing place of just acceptance. And it's very beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Um, what messages does Mother Mary have for the collective today?
The message is that you have to stand in your faith and your belief of what you know to be true. And that doing so does not mean that necessarily you're not going to endure hard times, um, but that those hard times are going to be there for you, to really appreciate the good times and the love that you have for one another. And she's showing me like the times like when she walked, you know, the like she walked with Jesus. Like she's saying like that she loved the times that they were together and that they spent together. And she knew that the faith that she had for his lifetime and for her purpose in that lifetime, was an important role for humanity, but that she also had hard times that went along with it. But it just made her appreciate those good times even more and acknowledging that she had a greater purpose in the grand scheme of things.
So, can we ask her why she chose to play the role of Jesus's mother?
Showing that she's like a very connected, like she was very connected. So she's had multiple lifetimes, uh, not here on Earth actually, but multiple lifetimes on other places with Jesus. And that she actually resonates, like she encompasses unconditional love, that frequency of unconditional love, and that like showing me that like she was in alignment, like it's showing me a light in the line, like she was in alignment and she was like best equipped to take on that role.
So, did she have a connection to the Pleiadians or to the angels?
She has a little bit of a connection with the angels, but more with the Pleiadians.
Did she have any kind of connections to ancient Egypt?
For some reason it just went dark.
Maybe it doesn't matter if she had a connection to Egypt.
They're saying like her bloodline did, but not her. Like she doesn't like okay, so it went dark because she didn't see with her own eyes Egypt, so it didn't come from her, but her bloodline did.
Is that why Jesus was chosen to be in the Egyptian mystery schools? Because I know back then you had to be like a part of that bloodline to access that kind of knowledge.
The uncle, something to do with his uncle. Um, yes, so part of the bloodline, like he, something to do with, yeah, like the uncle, and he had his, like the stars, like his, something to do with the way everything, like his constellation chart. So they're saying like they actually went in like your birth chart was actually a huge part in how they, like, now you'd have a birth certificate, but then it would have been like when you were born you had your birth chart, and that was like the defining imprint of who you were, and something to do with when he was born and the way the stars were, it was because of his DNA, but also because they knew, because of the birth chart and the understandings they had of the astrological information of who he was. Like it was foretold by the constellations of who he was. And so that is why he was allowed into the mystery school. But it's something to do with the uncle too.
So was she fully aware of the role that she was playing here on Earth?
Yes. Like they're saying, like when they showed me she was in alignment, it meant that she was completely open. Like she had all of her abilities were completely open. Like she understood it. Like she came in without a veil on in a way, but also respecting the fact that she was here to have an earthly experience. And so she didn't use, just like Jesus didn't use their their capabilities to be removed from the matrix. Like they, at any point they could have been removed and removed themselves. Like this is too hard, we want to go. Like, you know, humanity can handle it on their own. So like they're showing that like she completely was unveiled, but also respected the role. And so she stayed to help with the ascension even after Jesus's passing. Like she stayed, she could have left, you know, but she stayed to help, um like to help with humanity and help with the story.
So what was the purpose of the story? So a group of them decided to come out to play this role of Jesus and Mary Magdalene. What was the purpose of the story that they created and how it plays a role in our ascension?
Okay, first of all, she's taking me on the sideline, showing me it wasn't really immaculate conception. It was actually an abduction, like type of birth. Like it was like she was taken up into a galactic ship and impregnated there in a way. Or was she taken up, or was she, they assisted in her pregnancy? So it wasn't really like out of nowhere. It was done through the galactics. But the purpose of the story was during that time of uh like where humanity was, that the teachings of unconditional love and the teachings of trials and tribulations and how to use your abilities, and that everyone was capable of you having these, like, you know, capabilities of healing, you healing the sick, raising the dead, like meditation, connection with God, like that you weren't separate from God, that God was just a, you know, another part of you, and you were here having an experience. Like all those things were supposed to be the story, and of love, of loving anyone, regardless of race, creed, you know, it's influential status, money, everything. Like Jesus actually like was more on like focusing on, it's not that you shouldn't have money, but he was more focused on loving the people that had less. Like showing that there was just like there was more worth there in humanity, in the soul of the person versus like the status. Like it's not like he's saying you don't love someone because they have money, but it just like that was an important role to for Jesus and Mary. It's like it wasn't to show that that was important in life. It was to show that like they're showing me like like 99 sheep and the one left behind is just important as the rest of them. Like you don't like of it to ascend, like you like you're only as valuable, I guess, is what it kind of you're only as valuable as your weakest player. So you have to make sure to empower that weakest player so that the ascension of the collective can be, can rise up above instead of discarding, instead of throwing away humanity, instead of like just like every man for themselves. Like you don't have to be the fastest in the group, like you just have to be faster than your slowest friend. And then like when they talk about bear attacks, like he's saying like that's not true. Like you want everyone to survive, you want everyone to rise above, you want everyone to make it to this place. And it was such a like dog eat dog world in a lot of ways in the time that they came in. So it was like really to show miracles, it was to show love.
So, what was the soul connection between Mother Mary and Jesus? Were they a part of the same soul family?
Yeah, he's like it's like showing me like what I mean, not in the way that you would experience it here, but like twin flames. Like they're a split, they're an aspect split. Like it's like they're showing me that like the Trinity, like you have God, Mary, and Jesus. Like she was just important as he was.
Okay, so I know, like, speaking of that, so I know that Mother Mary was also like the Queen of Heaven, the Mother of Sacrifice. A lot of people know her as the Mother of Sacrifice. And I know that when you look at the Trinity, it's like God is a masculine, Jesus, and then you have Mother Mary, and she's the mother of sacrifice. So is it almost like it was set up that way because we were going into a time where the feminine was sacrificing itself to bring these polarities back into balance eventually?
Yes, that's very profound. Like they're showing me, wow, that's beautiful. Like they're showing me it just shifted how and it but it that's what made it so like the masculine energy, it became so dominant of like power, destruction, not like Carrie always is concerned. She doesn't want men to think she doesn't like when she relays this information. So we're going to relay it for her and understanding that, like, when you become off balance with anything, it can become the pendulum swings, Carrie. So you can relax in relaying this message. It's not that the masculine energy is wrong, it's that when it becomes too forceful and too much of it like power, that it can create like things like war, like destruction, like money, when the like female energy is sacrificing itself and it's not really stepping into its power, like it's more sacrificial. That's off balance too, in like kind of not being a doormat, but like just allowing the men, that masculine energy, that energy of destruction to like become dominant. But also that time had to come for like humanity's evolution too, like in moving like forward the industrial like energy type of thing. It move forward evolution as far as like sciences and advancements in technology, so also is very purposeful in that way.
So if the pendulum comes back around, so I know that Lemuria started like the feminine, um, like the feminine being dominant, but then the Anunnaki and Atlantis came, and that was more masculine. That civilization ended. Then we went into a very masculine time again. So is the pendulum coming back around for the feminine, or are we coming back more into balance and harmony? Or is there a time, like if we're going to balance with these two, then is there a time? I guess I'm asking, when is the pendulum coming back for the feminine if we've been so masculine now?
So what's happened and what you have seen is there's been a huge swing over towards the feminine. So it's almost in order to bring it back into balance, you had to like tug onto the like, okay, so let's say the feminine's on the left side. So it's that tug had to go to the left to kind of like jerk the alignment so that when the pendulum swings back, like that overbalance, that overpowering of feminine energy is going to swing back in alignment. Like it's actually purposeful that it kind of like the feminine overpowers for a moment, only because when the pendulum finally rests, it's going to rest in alignment instead of swinging back and forth again and again and again.
So is that why so many people feel called to work with the feminine energy right now?
Yes, it's because it's to help tug that from that very masculine type of energy to tug it over to the left so that you can have it in the middle when it rests.
So what is Mother Mary here to help us with? When can we call on her?
So like it's really showing me in times of real like despair and grief, um to really call on her to help you understand the bigger picture and the bigger empowerment. Like she understands despair, she understands grief, that she just wants to come in and help you understand like the bigger picture of it all. And they're really showing me that like she's very and I know it's cliche in my mind because like that mother aspect, of course it's motherly, but no, it's like she gets it. Like she gets it. She's lost her son. She like but she understands like the purpose for humanity of everything that the despair can have, but she wants it to be a place where we're not living and feeding that despair energy, but we're feeling more in like harmony and balance and understanding and empowerment.
Yeah, and I know that she's really helped me get more into like that nurturing energy.
Yes, like she is very like mothering, like she is very nurturing. And that's why it was like hard for Carrie to be like, oh, of course it's cliche, but no, that is what she embodies. Like she loves all, but she just wants to, like, she doesn't want any saying like especially the volunteers here at this time, like she doesn't want their lives to be in sacrifice anymore. Like she wants the volunteers that are here at this time and humanity, of course, but to really be like to learn these lessons and let go of that grief because it's really about she wants to see them all flourish. She wants to see them all like she's showing me an image of Jesus with his hands out and like just this radiating energy around him. Like she wants everyone to be in that place and not in that place of like coming down here and it being, you know, a place of struggle and a place of like hardship and heartache. Like she really wants people to release that grief and to feel their power.
Yeah, and so since she's the mother of sacrifice, I think that a lot of moms um have really felt that. Like they have really felt like they've had to sacrifice themselves for their children and for their families, and they feel very off balanced as well. What kind of guidance can she give us so that we don't have to sacrifice our own well-being for our families, but still like love, nurture, and take care of them?
Yes, and that's Carrie can very much relate with that because you know, um it's almost like that evolutionary need to want better for your offspring because you know like your contribution to evolution is your offspring. It's like a very primitive understanding of it, but that's what is relating to Carrie right now is that so you want to give like everything you can to the offspring so that the survival of your species. But like Mother Mary is saying, like it's not a primitive thing like that. You're very enlightened beings and have kept capabilities to understand so much more than some of the like, basic animals on this earth, what they understand, that yes, you want your offspring to thrive, yes, you want the offspring to move forward, but at the same time, you also have so much that you're connected with as far as your family and your ancestral DNA lines, that by you nurturing yourself and giving yourself that nurturing, beautiful, loving self-care, unconditional love, that you are also helping your like past genetics and your past like ancestral lines. So it's not just as important to move forward the offspring to the future of evolution, is also imperatively important to the present moment and the past. And that present moment of you loving yourself, that you're going to be much more empowered to teach your children to love themselves and to be able to then, you know, just empower their next generation even more and more. Like, like, like she's just really showing like the importance of self-care, the importance of like putting the oxygen mask on yourself. If there's they in the airline that they say like we're crashing or something, that you're supposed to put the oxygen mask on yourself because you can't help others if you can't breathe yourself. And that she had a specific role and purpose for the evolution of humanity, to have her son be sacrificed, to be the embodying the sacrificial. But at that is not this time. This is the time of empowerment. This is time of self-love. This is the time of breaking those chains and those patterns to move forward. And so that the offspring will be even more empowered. And yeah, that's just really what she's showing me.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. So, is there any final messages that she has for us?
She's just like really like she's showing me her just wrapping her arms around each and every one of us. And she has this look of just love, and it's really like a single tear running down her face. Like it's just a beautiful, like that embrace that she has with us just brings tears to her eyes in a good way. That much love that she has for us. And um yeah, she's showing me the image of a heart, and that she knows we're there. She knows we're doing it. And she's saying the tear was like her sacrifice was worth it.
Oh, yeah, that's so beautiful. Before you even said that, I felt like she was just giving me this big hug.
It's just this beautiful embrace, this beautiful hug.
Amazing. We'll definitely bring her back in because she's so beautiful.
Thank you.